we have a fun episode for you today, talking about the Christian apologist civil war that has broken out in the most satisfying fashion imaginable. And this is involving some of the most vile people that you can imagine, not just by Muslim standards, but even by Christian standards. Like, these are the most vile, disgusting people who for a long time tried to present themselves as a united force against Islam. And that facade has shattered in a spectacular way. And this is something that involves one of the biggest Islam haters, one of the most vile people that you can imagine, which is Apus, the recent convert to Christianity. He supposedly converted after years of being an atheist, an avowed atheist who insulted God, claimed that the entire concept of God is ridiculous, irrational. All of this hatred for God melted away all of a sudden just last year when he realized the beauty of Jesus Christ and the beauty of the church. And he converted. He allegedly converted. And it hasn't been a smooth transition from hardcore atheist to Orthodox Christian. And he's had some very disturbing family issues that we're going to discuss in this episode, because his wife, and what seems to be soon ex-wife, is on Twitter blasting him. Blasting him and tweeting against him. And interestingly, tweeting against Zionism. And we're going to go through that history. Most of it has been developed through October. I'll show you the tweets. We're going to analyze it. And then we're going to look at Sam Shamoon's reaction. Sam Shamoon is more Catholic. He has history with Orthodoxy, but he's Catholic now. And Sam Shamoon is now trying to counsel Apus's wife and telling her, keep praying. And this scum, Ridvan, abandoning you, abandoning your children. This is what Zionism does to Christian families. And Sam Shamoon is going off. He's attacking not only Apus, he's attacking David Wood. He says that David Wood has contributed to this. He had an entire live stream over 2 hours dedicated to this topic, blasting these different apologists, including David Wood, inspiring philosophy, attacking even God logic. So it's pretty funny. It's very interesting. Okay, so this is how it started, October 10th. This is the former account, this Paisia's Prayer Corner. I don't know what that is. It says, "May I have your attention? Mrs. Apostate," okay, that was her previous Twitter handle, the wife of Apus. "Mrs. Apostate has died and new life has sprung forth. Welcome to Paisia's Prayer Corner. This is who I am. No more politics, just Christ and his church. Please stay and get to know each other as brothers and sisters." And Bruce Lee reposted this. Bruce Lee is Sam Shamoon. So that was the first sign of trouble in the Apus household, that she is declaring that Apus, or Mrs. Apus, has died. Then October 13th, OrthoFam, "You guys were right." So she's referring to the followers of the Orthodox Church. "You were right about Zionism, about putting political and worldly ideologies in your heart. It's never good to put one's own opinions on the throne of the heart where God is supposed to reign. The world will cease, but the Lord God will reign forever." So very sharp, pointed criticism of Zionism. Okay, this is political and worldly ideology. Don't put it in your heart. Look at the date. This is October 13th. And your husband is very involved with Zionism. He's taking trips to Israel. He's within that Zionist social media ecosystem where he's pushing the worst kind of Zionist filth against the Palestinians, trumpeting and highlighting and emphasizing all of the worst lies from the Netanyahu government and from these different Jewish institutions. So very interesting that Apus's wife is saying to the Ortho fam, "You were right. Zionism is a problem. Zionism is this worldly ideology that is going to corrupt your heart." Then in October 17th, people are starting to ask, like, what is going on here? So then finally she admits, "Yes, I'm distancing myself from Ridvan's content. He recently chose to separate from me, but still wants to support the family." Oh, what a good guy. What a good guy. He still wants to support his own children and his wife. Wow. He's a stand-up guy, a stand-up Christian. "We are on good terms and are still friends. Aw, I respect him and care about him. He's the father of my boys." It seems like this is like an affirmation that she has to tell herself, like to prevent herself from sliding into complete depressive paralysis. Like, this is her daily affirmation. "He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's the father of my boys. We're on good terms. We're friends." So she just comes out. Okay, she makes it public. She wants to make it clear that she is distancing herself from Ridvan, and she makes it clear that he chose to separate from me. Well, maybe you think that's because you're like blasting Zionism publicly and that's not gonna fly with his handlers, with Apus's handlers. They're not happy. about Mrs. Apus speaking out against Zionism. So this is October 17th. October 20th. Good afternoon. Stop asking me about Ridvan. He left me. It's over. Thank you for your attention to this matter. He left me. Okay, stop asking about it. It's over. It's over. No reconciliation. But so then one of these ortho bros, I assume, says, but isn't it a sin to divorce? And she says, it wasn't my choice. It wasn't my choice. So she's making it very clear that it's Apus that's abandoning her and her children, their children. This is what happens when you become a Zionist. Instead of becoming a devout Christian, what does Apus become? He becomes a deadbeat dad. He becomes a deadbeat who abandons his wife and kids. Very disgusting, actually. It's very sad. Then this is interesting. October 2nd, so earlier in the month, this is what Apus had tweeted. Even if the world turns against Israel, I will not. I know they're bloodthirsty enemies. They're the same enemies who destroy the streets of Europe. They're the same enemies who would love to see people like me dead. They love death and hate life. Repeating Netanyahu's lines, I stand with Israel. So this is what he posted October 2nd. And then October 20th, about 2.5 weeks later, his wife tweets and mirrors his tweet and says, even if the world turns against Christ, I will not. I know his bloodthirsty enemy. He is the enemy who destroys the earth. He is the same enemy who would love to see people like me dead in my sin. He loves death and hates life. I stand with Christ. So this is a rebuke of Apus, a very clear rebuke about 2 weeks after, and she decides to post this. So she's, actively going against her husband, against Apus. So is it any surprise that Apus is going to, drop her, choose Israel over her? And it's interesting, like, this is the nature of some of these women, because she was indicating like, oh, stop asking me about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it, guys. I don't want to talk about it. Don't ask me about it. But she's the one who's agitating, it seems. Apus is not saying anything, as we'll see, to talk about this in the same way that she is. It seems like she's trying to jab him. She's trying to drive in because she's upset. She's clearly going to be broken up about the fact that now she's a single mother. She's a single mother and has to raise 2 kids by herself. That's clearly a disaster for her. And she says, oh, we're friends. We're on good terms. But this doesn't look like good terms. This doesn't look like you're friends. It seems like you're just bitter. You're bitter against Apus. October 22nd, she tweets, 2 families at my parish have offered to help wash my boys Sunday afternoons after liturgy so I can get a little break. Thank God for the church. So she's advertising the fact that she's just a single mother. She has to raise these kids on her own. She has no help. Thank God that the church is going to step in and watch her boys on Sunday afternoon on the weekend. She has to work throughout the week. And even on the weekend, she needs some time to herself. She has to drop the boys off at daycare. Wow. And October 21st, someone asks, is Apus still becoming Orthodox? And she says, just pray for him. That's what I do. So it's not even clear like he's actually going to have any commitment to the Orthodox Church. Like, it's all a show. Like, this is very basically, she couldn't have made it more clear that, just pray for him. There's nothing confirmed. Like, basically signaling that this is all just a show. And she's a sincere believer. She's a sincere follower of the church. They are helping her raise her boys after all. And AP, you just got to pray for him. You got to pray. Then Sam Shamoon is very concerned. Sam Shamoon has a lot of problems with abandonment. His wife left him, of course, after cheating on him with the plumber. She liked the plumber better than she liked him. And so Sam hasn't gotten over that after all these years. Those demons are still haunting him. And so he steps in, white knight in shining armor, who's going to come and save the damsel in distress. And comments, yep, she's making it clear with every post that Zionism is what did it. Zionism broke the marriage. And David Wood is complicit in this for going along with Apus and encouraging his sick demonic fascination with Zionism. Because you have this Miss X Apus posting these kinds of anti-Israel memes, and Sam Shamoon is picking up on it. Then she responds to Shamoon and says, thank you, Sam, for your care and concern. As I've said previously, Ridvan has left me, and we are no longer a couple. Ridvan and I are supportive of each other, and he's still supporting me and the children. He's a good man, and I pray for blessings in his life and that he'll remain close to Christ. God bless you. So this is so like clearly insincere, like clearly this is not what she actually believes or feels, but it's like she's struggling with herself to put on this kind of pious face of a Christian wife who is above and beyond the pain and suffering that Apus has subjected her to. So we don't know like the whole story. That's the thing. Like, was Apus abusing them? Like, what was Apus actually doing? Was Apus cheating on her? Was this infidelity that really broke up their marriage? Was Apus getting honeypotted? Like, was Israel sending spies? Like, maybe that's the case. Maybe uh, Israel and the people who are paying Apus all this money to travel to Israel to attend these kinds of retreats that they have. So maybe they recognize that his wife is extra baggage. His wife is not fully on board. His wife is not buying into the Zionist project. She's a problem. So what if Apus comes across some, beautiful Jewish lass, some who has a lot of interest in Apus and says, "Oh, Apus, I love how you're standing for Israel and the Jewish people. You're my hero." Starts DMing him, starts messaging him. The relationship starts to develop. He's using a second phone maybe, and then Mrs. Apus comes across this. What's this? Like, who are you messaging here? And what are these photos? And Apus has to start defending himself. No, it's not what it looks like. And you're not treating me so well. You're not supporting me. You're critiquing me. You're not coming to Israel with me to kiss the wall. Trouble in paradise. Trouble in paradise at the Apus household. Is that what happened? Maybe. Maybe that's close to reality. And the thing is that I'm pretty sure we're gonna find out. I'm pretty sure because she's despite her best efforts not to talk about it, that bubbling rage you can see that is starting to burst through. She's showing, despite herself, that she's very angry and upset. So Sam Shamoon says, "What happened to Ridvan, and what will David Wood do about it? Besides talking about Zionism and why Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens are liars, note how sick and twisted this is. He is happy about being in Israel while he just walked away from his marriage. This is the fruit of this satanic ideology." So according to Sam Shamoon's theory, it's David Wood that groomed Apus to become a Zionist. It's David Wood that groomed, because otherwise Apus was going to become a devout Christian and he was going to put behind him all of this anti-God stuff, this pro-genocide stuff. He was going to leave that all behind and fully embrace the church, fully embrace the idea that Christian Zionism is a heresy. And it was only the intervention of David Wood that threw Apus off the right track. This is Sam Shamoon's theory. So Shamoon clearly has a grudge or some kind of problem with David Wood. And then Apus starts posting or retweeting this Jewish woman's post on Twitter. "The best date ever. What a hero this man is. Apostate prophet. I love you. Heart, 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 heart. Israeli flag, Israeli flag, Israeli flag emojis." And a picture of Apus in a suit and tie with a very elderly looking Jewish woman draped all over him. And so this is posted, and then Apus retweets this. And it's talking about a date. So you left your wife and you're going to Israel and you're having dates and you have Jewish women just draped all over you. And I was joking that, wow, these honeypots are getting to be senior citizens. Like, are these like the third string honeypotters that Israel is putting out for people like AP and these other ex-influencers? Like, where are the models? Where are the Instagram thoughts that Israel, we know, uses? I guess they reserve the thoughts for the high-grade politicians and the world leaders, but when it comes to the ex-influencers, they have to bring out the third-string grannies for Ridvan and Tommy Robinson or whoever. So yeah, this is just humiliating. And Ridvan is retweeting this as a jab against his wife to really drive in the knife, to really twist the knife in her side. Yeah, I left you and now I'm in Israel and I'm getting all the Jewish babes. All of these Jewish babes are draped over me, enjoying my first class vacation paid for by Netanyahu. So this is really ugly. This is really disgusting behavior from Ridvan, and Sam Shamoon is all over it. He said, this says it all. This says it all. So disgusting. Like, AP posted a reply here. This is what Shamoon is saying, October 21st. AP posted a reply here about Christians gossiping about him. I didn't see him denying that he left his family. Moreover, the last part of having no desire to share with the public sounds more like an excuse to hide the facts of his abandoning his family. And he needs to share details since his wife has gone public about him leaving, and he owes it to his quote-unquote fans and quote-unquote supporters to confirm or deny. Besides, is he implying that his priest has approved of his decision to leave his family? If so, what Eastern Orthodox priest would agree to this unless for marital unfaithfulness? Okay, so maybe there is adultery at play here. Can any Eastern Orthodox help me understand this? Weird how your buddy now walked away from his family as you spent months highlighting your sickening lust for Zionism in Israel. Keep up the great work of destroying people's faith. So this is what he's saying to David Wood. This is the fruit of Christian Zionism, says Sam Shamoon. Pray for this man, since his unhealthy love for Israel and the accolades he is getting from them will be the cause of him turning away from Christ. Wait and see. Replying to Ridvan, celebrating arriving in the false state, terror state of Israel. The story gets even more disgusting. Sam Shamoon says, what is going on here? Is he holding another woman's hand? So there's some video that Tommy Robinson and some of these other Zionists were publishing, touring Jerusalem. And in one of the videos, Apus is holding the hand of some young woman who's not his wife, obviously. His wife is at home with the two boys. She's trying to catch a break because she has a full-time job by herself, trying to raise two boys by herself. And AP is gallivanting out there in Jerusalem, walking the ancient streets of Jerusalem with another woman hanging off of him. Who is this other woman? And Sam Shamoon asks former Miss Apus, sister, sorry to bring this to your attention, but do you have any idea of what Apus is doing here, holding this woman's hand? And he posts the video on his channel, and we'll look at that.
What's the best way to sing it? Where do we get it?
So there's AP, some random woman with big sunglasses so you can't really see her face. This is shared on Sam Shamoon's channel, calling out AP, calling out Apus. Is this adultery? Because aren't you still married? There's no divorce yet. So how are you, holding the hands of some young woman in Jerusalem? Is this allowed in Eastern Orthodoxy?
Because let me show you, he had no grounds to separate. I do not separate them. The only grounds to separate is what again? Let's see. Except on the ground of unchastity. You have no grounds for divorce. You get it? You can't just pick up and leave.
So divorce is haram, according to Sam Shamoon, according to his denomination. If AP had decided to become Protestant, maybe there would be more leeway. But he picked a church that is where divorce is not allowed, except on grounds of adultery. We haven't ruled out that being the case, actually. If that's not the case, then how are you going to just abandon your wife and kids? This is what Shamoon is saying.
Am I missing something here? Ridvan texts me from Israel. He is gaslighting, and he's not repented. He's hardened. You seem to entertain the idea that I changed my religious belief. No such thing ever happened. I'm following the spiritual father I've been following in the Orthodox Church. Lie. Because if that spiritual father is allowing you to be a Zionist prostitute, walk away from your family, he's no priest. And I didn't say you change your beliefs. I've said you're a Zionist stooge. And then he says, right, I won't tell you to stop, but this is incredibly dishonorable, dishonest, and burdens her more than me. Really? It burdens her more than you? Are you lying?
So Shamoon is texting, I guess, through WhatsApp, Apus. And so he's just revealing this private back and forth he had with Apus.
In fact, she herself has asked people to stop. Did you ever bother asking me what is going on? Did you ask her? Yes, I did, coward. I've reached out to her. She said, stop asking her. She didn't say stop talking about it. And then he says, where did you get the idea from that I left my family? Now watch the gaslighting. Watch the gaslighter. I go, here you go, buddy. Black and white from her mouth. And I said, stop gaslighting and twisting words. You need to repent. Good afternoon. Here I said, stop asking me about Ridvan. He left me. It's over. Look what his excuse is. Look what he says. Where did she ever say, I left my kids and family? You're telling me this is not gaslighting? Guys, did you notice? He left me. In his narcissistic mind, I didn't leave her and the kids. We agreed to separate and take care of the kids. You see, this is a Muslim at heart. He left me. It's over, meaning you separated. You're looking for divorce. That's not meaning you abandon them, you won't support them. See? I go, let me share it with you again. He left me, it's over. And I said, you better stop gaslighting, you narcissist. I go, you fat ass Netanyahu lover. This is not what is happening. We take care of the children together despite separation. You see? You tell me this is not a classic example of a gaslighter? Buddy, I know you're being a Muslim. You left her, it's over, meaning you left the marriage. The marriage is over. I didn't say you abandoned them financially. He's garbage. He needs to be called out. I just played the messages.
This is none of your business. That's the end of it.
And then he tells me, look, that is none of your business. I go, no, you fat ass. It is my business. You know why? You're a public figure. You're getting money from Christians. You identify Christianity. It's all of our business because it's public.
Let's look at Apus's statement, because Apus finally responded to everyone. People really love gossiping about the private life of a man and his family when it has no relevance at all to his message and the public. I didn't know I was one of the Kardashians. Almost everything I have read about me and my family while I'm busy trying to build bridges and speaking to Christians, Jews, and Muslims in Israel is totally false. Some of the falsehood is even spread by people who have my number and could just give me a call. They prefer public gossip instead because it's more entertaining to them and their impulses. Every major decision I have made over the last year has been made with the complete awareness of and consultation with a rabbi, priest, whom I consider a spiritual father. Everything has been done through more consultation, prayer, and contemplation. Oh yeah, because Apus is really about contemplation. He's really spiritual, guys. Every decision has been made in line with what would be best for everyone involved. There is absolutely no need for fellow Christians to spread rumors about me. If we needed their input, we would have asked them. They should focus on their own problems while I try to be better and focus on mine and my new girlfriend. My new girlfriend that I'm having vacation with in Jerusalem. I have no desire nor any intention to share anything else with the public. Thanks, and may God have mercy. So the irony of this indignant, self-righteous response is that Apus has dedicated maybe dozens, maybe hundreds of hours to talking about the families of other people. In fact, very recently, like how many live streams has this rat dedicated to talking about Muhammad Hijab and these different people accusing him of this and that regarding marriage or secret marriage? And oh no, how many hours has Apus dedicated even bringing on the alleged ex-wife of Muhammad Hijab, talking about all these other du'at? Oh, are they in secret marriages? Oh, have they abused their wives? Oh, this is that. Like spreading all kinds of the worst salacious rumors about Muslims. Apus is all about that. Like Apus loves to do that when it's directed towards others. But when it's suddenly his life, when it's suddenly his marriage and his family, oh, this is private. How dare you? How dare you talk about a man's wife? I'm not one of the Kardashians. This is gossip. This is a rumor mill. Suddenly so indignant when it's his own family that's under the public microscope. Sorry, Apus, but your wife, as far as we know, she's still your wife. She's the one who's blasting you online. We're just trying to help her, Apus. We want to help this poor abused woman that you have emotionally abused. Like she's suffering from Stockholm syndrome. She can't even call you out for abandoning her. She just has to give these passive aggressive tweets and claim that, oh, we're just friends. He's abandoning me and my children, but we're still friends. He's a good guy. It's a desperate cry for help, don't you think? It's very sad. Very sad. And those poor children. So yeah, Apus pretending like you're above like gossip and you're above like digging into the private lives of people. You're doing it constantly. You have no shame in doing that for others. But suddenly you don't like a taste of your own medicine. Sorry, it doesn't work that way.